Guys, Miranda Manticos here, psychic channeler, spiritual teacher. I have two recordings that I'm going to do today. The first one is in response to a question that I got from my YouTube page, and it was a person that asked me, how do I learn who my guides are? Okay. And so I want to talk about this for a few minutes. If you are wanting to connect to your spirit team, and I think, a lot of people want that connection, and some people already have, contact with their ancestors or with their guardian angel, with their animal kingdom guides. Some people are already kind of getting those messages, but if you're new to this, it's really nice to have a little guidance on how to connect and how to receive messages. And also, I feel like, the story of how I started to receive more specific messages and how I woke up could be helpful to someone, okay? So, okay. So, I'm being called to share this. So, emerge from the shadow. Reveal what is hidden. Okay. Okay. So when I first started realizing that I was hearing Mary Magdalene, okay, it was after I lost 4 babies during different stages of pregnancy, after my husband and I were trying to have a 3rd child. And when the first one that we lost crossed over, I was always a different type of child. I always had visions. I could see things other people couldn't see. And I was receiving telepathic communication, but didn't realize it because of the religion that I grew up in. There was no training there, no real spiritual discernment training, okay? There was other kinds of training. I mean, I learned a lot of other good things, but just not that, okay? And there was a lot of things that I had to unlearn as well. But anyway, when I lost the first pregnancy, that first baby, and I asked her name, she told me her name was Madeline, okay? And my husband is Greek, as I've mentioned before on some other videos. Because of that, any name that we considered for our children, I always looked up the Greek meaning, okay? Right away, I go to look up what is Madeline in Greek, and it's Magdalene. And I knew, how you just have that inner knowing, that feeling, you just know something, right? I knew it meant something. I knew it was important. And I said, wait a minute, you're telling me her name is Magdalene? Why? Why is her name Magdalene? And that's when I started to hear her talk. And she began talking to me and telling me more about her and why she came through my womb. And this was way, you guys, way years ago, before I knew anything about being a water priestess, anything about womb wisdom, anything about all that. But it started with Mary Magdalene, okay? And so there's a lot there that she has taught me and that she continues to teach me. But it started with a pregnancy that did not manifest in this world. And it was her awakening my womb, okay? So other than what I would consider traditional, like me, for example, asking the Christ for help or asking my grandmother in heaven for help, which was, I feel like, very traditional way in my culture to ask for help. She was the very next most guide that gave me her specific name and started showing me my connections to her in other lifetimes, my connections with Mary Magdalene, okay? So there can be that kind of experience as far as discerning and connecting to your spirit team, which was, I feel like, extreme, but it's what it took to wake me up, okay? I had been through so much past life trauma, you guys, so much. And I'm a very old soul and have been attacked in many lifetimes because of my abilities. So you could see why the awakening had to boom, hit me There was probably this inner child. I'm going to pull from the inner child deck too in a little bit, maybe on the second recording. But there was probably this inner child in me that was like, no, don't share your gift. Don't share your gift. Do not receive the persecution that comes from being different. But I did it anyway, you guys. So yeah, okay. If you want to connect with your guides, you could have an experience like that. A lot of times when people lose a loved one, their grandparents, a spouse, a child, they so desperately want to connect with that loved one that they will begin seeking and asking, okay? So I would say that first seeking and asking is like a very good first step, okay? And then trust, okay? So like say you want to find out who is your primary guide, okay? Ask that question in prayer in a way that's comfortable for you. Everyone is different. However, which way you pray, okay? Ask, who is my primary guide? Okay? So see, when I say, who is my primary guide? I'm asking her. She's saying the goddess. Okay, she is my primary guide, the goddess. You may hear something completely different, and you're only going to hear, and by hear I mean telepathically. It's just going to come like a thought in your mind, okay? Sometimes audibly. Not everybody hears audibly, okay? But I have heard some guides audibly, certain ones, okay? I also have my angel guides that play music for me, and I literally will hear them like singing a song, okay? So, but for most people, the answer to their question is going to come as a thought or a feeling, okay? So for example, you may ask the question, is my grandmother in heaven my primary guide, okay? And you're going to get this feeling, okay, of yes or no. And that doesn't mean she's not a guide, okay? That just means she's not your primary guide. You may have a primary in her, okay? So have some questions that you want to ask your spirit team, and I hopefully this is helping in some way for whoever needs to hear this. Write down a few questions, 1, 2, 3, but just simple. Don't get too complicated because you're going to keep it very short and sweet, okay? And just start with like those 3 questions, for example. Close your eyes, open the prayer the way that you're comfortable, okay? And just ask. I would like to meet my spirit team. Who is my primary guide? Okay. And what I'm hearing is she's saying the water priestess has already blessed this. She's calling it a, what do you want to call it for the community? She's calling it an enchantment. What she means is it's like this sign of protection around this moment, okay? So this moment is being protected. So when you ask this question, she has already blessed it through the womb, through the water wisdom, through the Magdalene, okay? So trust that when you do this with your spirit team, the channel is already clear and protected. That's what she's indicating in her power and wisdom, okay? So get to a quiet place, get comfortable, ask your question. Who is my primary guide? Do I have other guides? And would you like to give me names? Okay, so and just stick to like 3, okay? Because if you start asking too many questions all at once, you're going to go back into your mind and your thinking mind, and you really want to stay in that calm, gentle space, okay? And I like to tell people to open their heart. So think of something or someone you really love. Let that heart space open. When it's open and flowing, ask your questions and trust what comes. Okay? And I feel like Mary Magdalene just sent a heavy blessing, like a great protection around it just then, because she just like took me into trance all of a sudden. So she is guarding this for you. You are safe to ask for your team and to begin communication. She's reminding me of scripture. She's saying, seek and you shall find, ask and it will be given, knock and the door will answer, okay? Seek it, ask for it, and then trust what comes. She's also reminding everyone that you are all loved, you are all divine and special. She accepts you, she loves you. You are her children, she's saying. So there is such mother love coming through this. So in an effort to get to know our spirit teams, which is so important. You are being supported by Mary Magdalene right now, is what I'm hearing. And that is so powerful, so important. So go ahead and just start asking. And just a few little tips. If you don't completely understand what I mean about asking, just the thought that comes to mind is the thought, okay, that you need to hear. You can also journal that. A lot of people, when they're awakening spiritually, will ask a question to their spirit team, and then they'll just start kind of doodling on a journal, like drawing a picture or writing some words. And the idea is the words that come through your hands are what is meant for you, okay? Sometimes you will hear audibly, like I suggested, that happens with me sometimes with certain angelic guides, okay? Sometimes you just have this inner knowing, okay? Or goosebumps, right? Everywhere. That's a really good, strong confirmation of that inner knowing, okay? You can also ask to see it in a dream. So one beautiful thing about your spirit team is they're here for you and your comfort, and they will support it the way that it works for you. So whatever way you're comfortable, just let them know, I'm willing to see this in a dream, or I'm willing to journal this in my journal, or I'm willing to hear it audibly. Okay, just state how you would like to be communicated with, and then open your heart and make the request, and then trust your team. Okay, so as you go throughout the day, you're going to get little signs and confirmations and all kinds of things to help support what you hear during that prayer. Okay, so you'll get all the little synchronicities that confirm that you heard accurately. So, and what I do with Mary Magdalene is anything I'm not sure about, anytime I get spiritual guidance from new guides, like say if I get a new guide, I always check in with Mary Magdalene. She is my protector, okay? So once you find your primary guide, you can work from that as a foundation. That guide is your primary protector, okay? And will help you train your discernment on other guides. And of course, not every spirit is a guide, right? Like we know that our world is full of energies, entities, and all kinds of beings that you may or may not be familiar with, right? And that's not your problem. Don't worry about that. You're here just to talk to your guides, okay? And she will help protect that channel for you. And also, as you get introduced to your primary guide, you can work with them on that as well. And as you encounter different beings, because I feel like we're on the cusp of that, this major spiritual growth that we're going through right now on the planet is going to introduce us to beings that we may or may not have ever interacted with before in this life. Sometimes other lifetimes. Like you see how people are seeing all these beautiful clouds that look like dragons, or just other beings, they have had other lifetimes either as a dragon. I had lifetimes as a dragon, or interacting with dragons. I've done a lot of sessions on people that in hypnosis through their higher self, the higher self came through and said, that they were the dragon, or that they're, sometimes there's, like I had one session where the spouse in this life was her dragon in the past life. So we're going to start seeing things, you guys, that we've never seen before, okay? And it's really awesome and amazing to be at this moment, okay? But even if you're just, visiting your spirit guides just for, general direction in life and simple things that you need, that's okay too. It doesn't have to be all the mysticism and all the, all the things that these places could go, which is limitless. It can also be just simple guidance that you need on a daily basis, okay? Just ask is what I'm hearing. And they are ready to help you and start communication. And for any who are seeking this, it's because you're being called. That was the second card, the calling. See, the fact that you're feeling like you need to connect, that's the calling. That's something Christ taught me, was that it wasn't that I was initiating everything. It was that I was being initiated. Does that make sense? So when you feel that calling and that pull, yeah, that's the divine, right? That's the goddess pulling you, reminding you, calling you. And that's that grandmother wisdom, okay? Mother and grandmother. And I'm hearing like a French grandmama, like somebody saying grandmama. So I don't know if someone is French that's watching, but that's what I'm hearing. But Mary Magdalene is said to be buried in France. Okay. And yeah, it's interesting that she just said that in French. So there's something going on there. Either someone is French who's watching this, or maybe you need to know that she was basically rescued there. Like, she left Jerusalem. The story goes that she left Jerusalem with Mother Mary and others, okay, and her own child, which a lot of people don't know about, and that she fled to France, and France gave her sanctuary. And there's like a whole memorial of her in a cave there in South France, I believe. And there's a lot to that. I haven't visited it myself, but I've read a lot about it. But you can look this up. I feel like somebody needs to know that, because why would she say it like that? So she just said grandmama. So somebody needs to hear that. And I'm seeing like a green light. What else is it? Mary Magdalene. Someone watching needs to understand that they are the divine child. It's within you. She says you all need to understand that, all of you, but there is someone specific who needs to see this, that needs to remember their divinity. They forgot who they were when they were little. She says, pull this. Okay, sorry. So this is the inner child deck. It says, be still. So that, I'm hearing that phrase even is going to have meaning for you, be still. And it says, cultivate a space of stillness and silence, just to be. So just be. You are wanted. There is a home waiting within you. So someone forgot their divinity. Is there more? Okay. Okay, I think that's it. So she's saying, whoever that was, that the grandmama spoke up for, yeah, you are wanted. Be still. I'm hearing be still and know. You are on the path, she's saying. Hold on. That's initiation. Temple. Okay? You're recognizing the temple within you. What about it, Mary Magdalene? She's showing financial constraints. Sacred number 13. Angel of balance. Oh my gosh, I have to show these, so somebody needs to see it. Angel within. Angel of love. Angel of strength. To walk away. Wow. Okay. Sorry, I just had to show those all of a sudden. So let me just one more time show them to you. The temple path. Financial constraints. Sometimes we're breaking those constraints. You see all the webs and things tangled up in there. Sometimes it's the untangling. See the sacred number 13. What I'm getting is the temple path to the sacred number 13, which is the feminine energy, okay? Is leading to balance, okay? Love, strength, and someone walking away. And it may be the strength you need. Whoever this is, it's going to see this to walk away, okay? Returning to self does mean sometimes that we have to walk away from things that are not us, okay? Or people who are not for us, okay? So, yeah, that's it. I'm hearing ask your team, your spirit team is watching and waiting and ready to answer you. And I am going to say one more thing about this. You can give them a specific, like you can say, spirit team, anytime I see a purple rock, I'm going to know it's you. Okay. Give them a couple of little things like that that you can look for, that they can easily do for you to start communicating those confirmations. So like say you stated that the purple stone was going to be your communicator. Okay. Then you ask a question to your spirit team, you go to sleep, you wake up in the morning, you go to the grocery store, and right next to, some saying or something that you needed to see, like something could be on the ground. you might see a little purple rock and you're going to know that's what I asked for and they're giving it to me. Okay. See, open communication goes both ways. So what I'm hearing is tell them some ways that you would like to be communicated with that are easy for you. Like you may stumble across a movie that makes sense and gives you your answer. You may find a bird feather and it gives you your answer. You may journal and you get your answer. Open the ways up for the communication and state what you prefer. As you grow and you come along and you get more mature, that's when your guides sometimes won't be as accommodating because they're forcing you to grow. But that's not for right now. When you're first awakening, they're gonna really baby step you. And they did with me too. And they're just gonna give you all these little things and confirmations. And it's really beautiful, okay? So yeah, I'm hearing set some little details up. Like if I see this symbol, I'm going to know it's you. Or if I see this color, I'm going to know it's you. Have some little things that you set up. You can even write them down so that your spirit team knows what you're looking for. And then when the confirmations come, you'll see one of those things. Okay. So I hope this helps. Just know that there's no wrong way to talk to your guardian angel and your spirit team, whatever way works for you. Okay. These are just some tips and tricks and things that I've done and that Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene have taught me along the way, and Christ. And I have many guides now at this point that are for specific energies and they're for specific frequencies and they're also for specific collectives, because I have a role of being a guide in this realm. So my Akashic connection to the records of humanity is quite vast and ancient, so that I can help many people. So and you may be the same way, by the way, but when you start, they're going to start you with like a few, right? Just one or two. And then you'll grow and you grow and you grow. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I had to help my baby. He's at work with me today. Okay. So just ask. We'll summarize this with a big heart. She's showing a big heart. Am I doing that right? She's showing a big heart. Okay. So, there's so much love for you, and I'm very proud of you for asking how to contact your guides, and she's proud of you too. And yeah, just start. She's saying just ask and start, and I will help you. So Mary Magdalene will help you, but also whoever your personal team is, they're right there and ready. Okay. I love you guys. Hope this helps. Please like and share and follow. Bye.